Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Operation A View to a Kill, KMT US turn 15, July of 43, and we received an interesting communique earlier from a friend of mine.
This is your Japanese sister, the voice of truth. The voice reaches out to you.
Okay, well, I've had enough of the voice of truth. Anyway, let's move on to the KMT turn. They had $5, infantry and a militia. Let's look at their combat. They've got 2. Woohoo! I didn't gear up some markers. I'm almost assured of my victory, although I am a little concerned because Britain was destroyed on the last turn. All their armor met their fate in Africa. And all the KMT armor is going into battle here, so let's see what happens. So we have got our first battle out of our chip here in Kwangtung is, what is that, 5-6 armor. They'll be going into Hunan, along with 1 infantry. I'm assuming that I'm going to get them in 2 rounds, and then the 6 armor will blitz up here into Szechuan, and they'll be joined by 3 infantry, 3 artillery, and 1 AA in an assault on Szechuan. Also coming from the card from Kwangtung will be 2 cavalry. So I've got them at 4, so let me chip them out. So there's 2. And then I'll take 2, and they'll go in here into Szechuan. All right, so let's roll the battle. First battle is a militia defense. Second battle is a militia defense. That's why I'm somewhat confident. All right, so pull this up here and grab some dice. The first attack, we'll do our armor first. We are crossing a river, so that'll be 6 at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here's 6 dice. And, oh man, 1 hit. Whew. And our infantry, got to see if he retreats. And he does. That stinks because the militia better not hit. Damn it! That sucks. I lose an armor because I can't take that retreating guy as a casualty. That was what he was for. All the rotten luck. Dang, how many dice is just really crushing me this game. All right, so that goes to Hunan, and then the 5 remaining armor will blitz into the next assault in Szechuan. We got 3 artillery, so let's do those as first strikes at 2. And that's it for that battle. So let's reconfigure our forces. I don't have another card here for Szechuan, which is, I don't need a roundel for it. It was originally Chinese. All right, so in Szechuan, you get a chip. Here's a chip from that artillery or tank stack. All right, so 2 cavalry, 3 infantry, and 3 artillery. Hooray! And then let's put in there, where's that? 5 tanks. I can't believe I lost a tank. Damn it. That is disheartening. And then the AA was going as well, just in case there's a sneaky Japanese counterattack. All right, no change there. No change there. The infantry that went into Hunan backs out. Where did he go? Here he is. So we'll put him back on the card. Oh, he's out here in the ocean. There we go. All right. That other infantry was the one I chipped out. All right. So I keep knocking over the Japanese guy. The bayonet is crazy. All right, so let's Oh, let's place our units then, do a recap. Both of them going into Kwangtung. Or is it? Hang on. 2, 4, 5. So we're going to put the militia in Kwangtung for sure. I was wondering if I needed to place him up here, because there's some hostile action. Well, they only have 3 infantry. Yeah, we'll place him up there. I don't think they'll counterattack that, but they might. So here's the recap for the KMT. In Singhai is a mountain, 2 infantry, 2 militia, 2 cavalry. Militia in Xikang, 4 militia in Yunnan, 2 militia in Quichao. In Szechuan, 5 armor, 3 artillery, 3 infantry, 1 AA, 2 cavalry. And finally in Kwangtung, oh, I had that fighter I could have brought. I forgot. I just received him on Lend-Lease. And I put him next to the tanks so that I would remember. No, I didn't. Still wouldn't have saved my armor, though. All right, so in Kwangtung is 5 infantry, 1 militia, 5 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 1 fighter, 2 cavalry. And for the cash, they'll go up 2 to 5. Japan goes down 2. And that means they're going to get 5 for their income. Whoop. Once again, I got the camera pointing up in the air. And then 2 for the bonus. So next turn they'll have 7. So that'll be the most money China's ever had in this game. All right, so let's move on to the U.S. turn. Move some stuff out of the way here. All right, so for $75, we've got a fighter and militia, fighter and a militia. And those are poised out because I could get jet fighters. Could. So those militia may disappear. We're going to build a paratrooper and then a light cruiser. And that's, I put it on that U.S. marker so I remember it goes out on Midway on that shipyard. 2 subs, an attack transport. We're going to start a major naval base at Wake Island. We're going to place a heavy battleship. We're going to finish... No, this one we're placing a heavy cruiser. This one we're finishing a heavy cruiser. Or if we get advanced artillery, I'm going to take advanced artillery and finish that cruiser next turn. We're going to Lend-Lease the heavy cruiser that we started for Britain. And we're going to Lend-Lease this to China, which is just a Chinese guy that's painted, Chinese infantry. But I don't have any Chinese Marines, so I'll put that blue chip under him. So that Marine we're going to Lend-Lease to China. That's it for that. Let's roll some tech. And the first tech is artillery, factories, and radar. And all right, so these are all at 7. Nothing. Dang it. All right. So the next 3 is all 8s, and it's heavy armor, jets, and logistics. 8. So we got heavy armor, so no jets. That is orange. So heavy armor goes up to 2, which, you know, not... Looks pretty bad this turn. The most I can get is 2 techs. Here it is. Rockets at a 9. 8. I'll be dang. Back to 1 tech. Oh, that is killing me, this game. Killing me. You're killing me, Schmiles. All right, so let's look at our attacks. We'll start here since we are here. We've got a strategic bomber in the Marshall Islands. Grabs a paratrooper. Comes out 1, 2, 3, 4. Has 5 remaining spots. We'll land him in New Guinea, which goes back to, unfortunately, ANZAC. Even though they had nothing to do with it. We're going to move Japan down here. And ANZAC goes back up to 7, so they are full capacity, what they started when they're at war. The other attack is going to be this transport here. It's going to grab 2 infantry, 1, 2, and they're going to go into New Britain. We're going to have a fighter and a tactical come from an air base. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they'll have a movement of 2 left. And those are the 2 attacks in the Pacific. Convoy rating, we got 2 subs. We're going to bring over a 3rd sub from this card here in P22. It does have a naval base or sub base, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll have 3 subs that'll be doing convoy rating, since 2 really didn't net us much last turn. Grab those. All right, so over here, we did have an attack. We were going to attack Italia-Somaliland with the Americans, but Japan moved a sub into our zone. I could come up here, because this technically is the same sea zone, so I get to leave it unless it's blockaded, and the port is blockaded by 3 surface ships. So I could come up here and attack, but that leaves the destroyer and the transport. If that's sitting there, I'm pretty sure I would risk that attack, and I don't want to lose the destroyer and the transport. Destroyer versus just a sub, I'm not making that attack. So that's my thinking there. So they're just going to move non-com. Oh, put my marker back there. And hide out up there in those British ports. All right, so in Africa we have some attacks. So let me set down the camera. We've got a walk-in here in Tripolitania. The Marine will come over. That's an easy one. I remembered it this time. All right, so going into Tripoli, which is defended by an infantry and a motorized, will be 1 infantry, 1 light armor, 1 medium bomber, which will have 5 movement left. And then we have a fighter off this carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll have 1 left. That is the attack there. And let's see, what else do we got? Oh, northern. We have a northern attack. All right, so our transports have come up to England, and Germany responded accordingly, so we can't go there. So let's come on over here and see if we can take Norway. We have an air transport with a paratrooper. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll have a movement of 4 left because he came from an air base. We've got a medium bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll have a movement of 3 left because it came from an air base. All right, so that is 1 guy. We're going to load these 2 transports. The attack transport is the Marine and the armor. And that allows us to land the armor in round 1. It also allows the Marine to attack at a 3 instead of a 2. So it comes up 1, 2, 3. So we'll have that attack. And the other transport is just bringing these 2 infantry from southern England. And they will make that attack. And I did bring these 2 destroyers as escorts, and asked if Russia was going to declare war and try and sink my ships. They said nope. So let's make that attack. You know, while I'm up here, why don't we just do that one? I don't see any more attack dice. No strategic bombing this turn, no anti-aircraft, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we'll put this tray right here, and we'll roll this battle up north, which is a little questionable after seeing that British performance in the desert. All right, so I do have, it's a mountain territory. It's defended by 2 Marines and 1 infantry. So the first is the 2 U.S. infantry at 1. Oh, I'll be darned. We got a hit. So I'm going to leave that at the bottom of the screen so you can see it. All right, so I've got a Marine and a paratrooper. We're both attacking at a 3, but because of the mountains are a 2. So 2 at 2. Nothing. I have a tank at 5 because of the mountains. Dang it, that was a 6. And the medium bomber at a 7. So we got 2 hits. So that means 1 infantry, 1 marine go away for Germany. And they have 3 at 4. And they get 1 hit. So we will lose 1 of our infantry. So 1 U.S. infantry down. All right, so that means we have 1 at 1. Oh, nuts. Actually, 2 at 1 because that paratrooper is only 3 on the first round. So he'll be a 1 as well. All right. The marine is 3 throughout the whole battle, as it looks in the amphibious doctrine description. So he's at 2 because of the mountains. We got a tank at 5. There's a hit. And the medium bomber at a 7, which is miss. So we just got enough hits, so that's the last German. And he has a 4 back at us. It's a 5. So that is now a U.S. territory, which has a paratrooper, marine, infantry, medium armor. I'm going to go ahead and land the planes now because I don't want to come back up here. So the air transport at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can land back there, or I can land. The medium bomber has to land on this island. 2, 3, 4. I think I will. I think I'll land that air transport back here, even though I could come up here and get that guy again. These 2 transports will go in port, and I don't have a port marker. Oh yeah, I'll take this one. So they're in port. The destroyers have to remain out in the sea zone, which is fine. We'll get along peacefully with that Russian sub. All right, so that is it for that. Put these Germans over here for the next turn. I think that's it combat-wise over here. So now I'll move all this to the other side of the table. And we'll take a stroll. That's what happens when you have a 4x8 map. So look at all the garbage everywhere. This is the next battle in line. And it kind of is dicey as well. The motorized is nothing inside a city, but the infantry is boosted to a 5. The attack is all -1 from the land units. And the aircraft is no effect. And that's because of the desert. So we're going to have an infantry at a 1 and a light armor at a 2. There's the infantry. Oh, dang, my infantry are doing well. Light armor, 12, that's a miss. I have a 6 for the fighter and a 7 for the medium bomber. So that is the 2 hits we needed. Well, I guess we can use these dice. Which one? Motorized is at a 4. There's a hit. Uh-oh, we're in danger of not taking it. The infantry is at a 5. We didn't take it. So Tripoli holds because we're going to lose that light armor and infantry. All right. I'm not losing the plane for 1 point. So that was disheartening as well. The Italians, you know what? The Italians are kicking our butt in this game. I don't know what's happening. I'll land those when we're done. What other combats? That's a walk-on. Okay, we have this amphibious assault here. It's just 2 regular infantry. I don't know if New Britain is mountainous. No, that's not mountainous. All right, so we've got 2 at 2 for the infantry. Oh, we didn't get a hit that time. We've got a 6 for the fighter it's a hit, and the tactical is a 7. So we got 2 hits. The Japanese Marine defends at a 4, and that's a 5. So we do well against the Japanese, not so much against the Italians. And then this transport will go in port to hide from any counterattacks. All right. The last thing is we've got 3 subs, convoy duty, so I need my red and green dice. All right, Japan, U.S. So sub number 1 plus 2, nothing. Sub number 2 plus 2. All right, so that's 8 to 5, so that's 3. Where's my markers? So the first or second sub does 3 damage. That's last turn there. All right, and then finally sub number 3 is 2 more. So that maxes out the line at 5. So Japan loses 5 bones. And I believe that is it for combat. Let me get rid of my dice tray here. And the dice bucket. And I'll pick up all this garbage later. Casualties, random dice on the table. All right. So let's land our planes. The heavy strategic bomber will go on 2 into Queensland. We'll say hello to our Anzac friends who we just liberated their land. These 2, fighter and tactical, have a movement of 2 left, so they'll come into P-53, P-64. And you're saying, there's nothing there. Well, let's put something there. This carrier in Hawaii at a major port. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll land there. And we'll send 1 destroyer as an escort. All right. So now we've got on the island a Marine and a fighter, which we're going to leave. We've got this attack transport is going to bring down a medium armor and 1 infantry. And he'll go in port. In our brand new port there in the Marshalls. I don't think I have any more of those orange port markers. I didn't have enough for Japan. Initially, they had some ships out in the ocean, and I was starting to get excited about attacking them. And then Boston Bruce put them all in port. It's like, bummer. How can I designate that as in port? I guess I'll just put it on the island, on that port marker. So it's in port. I think what I'm going to do is leave this battleship. Well, we'll use that port. 1, or will we? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. He'll go out in Sea Zone P-22 with all these other ships. Carrier still in port. We'll leave him in the sea zone. You know what? We can put him in port because he can scramble out of port. All right, so the destroyer, transporter in port. This transport is in port. He'll grab the Marine, go over to Midway, put the infantry on, and go in port. So the carrier and transport are in port. All right, so let's move our 2 coastal subs from P-18 down to P-26. And our final moves here, we're going to take 4 subs from P-25. They'll come over 1, 2, 3 and go into P-22. I'll put him there like that. And then the 1 sub that's still in P-22 will come down 1, 2, 3 to Wake, along with that 5th sub from P-25. So we'll have, the net result is 2 subs in P-36 because they have that sub base. And then with destroyer from P-25, 1, 2, 3, and he'll land in the same sea zone as that P-22. All right, so everything there is peachy. Our non-combat here will come out take our infantry, artillery, 1, 2, 3, and go into port here in Kuwait and land our guys in southern Iraq, because that Italian Marine may take southern Iraq next turn. Who knows? All right, moving on. We've got 2 left. So the fighter has a movement of 1 left, so he'll go into Tunisia. Matter of fact, so will that. Or will do I need that medium bomber anywhere else? 3, 4, 5. I think we'll move him over. Well, that Japanese sub isn't going to stay there. So we got 5 left. So let's see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can go into Aden there. I don't know why we want to go to Aden, but I think that's where we're going to go. All right. So successful where the Italians vacated, not so much in Tripoli. All right. But that gives Britain a walk on. So we will rail 1 infantry from French Morocco over to Tunisia. We're going to leave those guys there. That was something else. We're going to take this transport out of port in Gibraltar and just come up here and go in port in Portugal into Sea Zone A35. And then up at the top, we've got a fighter coming out of southern England. 1, 2, 3, 4, landing on that carrier. And yes, I realize the P-47s didn't land on carriers. The transport here in Newfoundland will grab the mountain and infantry and come over 1, 2, 3 and go in port in Northern Ireland, dropping the 2 guys off there in southern England. All right. Looking at markers, trains. I think we are done. Might be a good thing that Japanese sub came there. I probably would have failed taking Somaliland there. 1 embarrassment's enough for the day. That's for militias. That's where my militias are going. All right, let's place our units. Let's start with those militias. We got 1 going into the Marshalls and then 1 going into Hawaii. All right, so this light cruiser is going into the shipyard here in P22, so we'll put it in our card there, which is getting really stacked. We've got two subs, an attack transport. The artillery didn't happen, so we were placing the medium cruiser. All that is going here into P25. All right. This is going on the build queue in stage 2. Get rid of that. We're going to lend-lease this and the Chinese Marine. And we'll go ahead and do that now. The Chinese Marine can come out of San Francisco into Kwangtung. So we'll put that on that card in Kwangtung, adding a Marine. I think this ship can, the British ship can also come this way. These narrows don't make a difference, I think, on Lend-Lease, like Gibraltar does. If not, it can come out of Texas and come around this sub as I counted it out. And it will go into this port here in Maharashtra with the other revitalized British Navy. All right, this goes on to stage 2, the battleship. So Japan and the U.S. both have one at stage 2. However, Japan already has 4 on the board. Or 3, yeah, 4. All right, so this fighter is going in San Francisco. The other two items go on the other side of the board. Oh, I'm going to put that port here, that marker on wake. And I'm going to leave that there so I remember to finish it next turn. All right, so the airborne and the fighter. So now the question is, since my airborne went back, do I put the airborne up here? I was putting the U.S. fighter up there. I think not. I think I'll keep with my plan of the airborne in Portugal and the fighter here in northern England. All right. This way I know that's in port and I see it. Not really concerned about the British transport. Oh, I did forget one move. These two subs from A35 that I built last term will come down to A44. All right, so that's it. Let's look at our cash. Did we go up? We did not. We took a territory. We liberated a territory. We did go up. We took one from Germany. We failed from Italy. Seems to be the theme. All right, so U.S. goes up to 64 and Germany goes down 1. More importantly, that's the key one for Germany. It gives them $4 a turn. Or maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 5. I think it is 5. Don't they get like a bonus? Where is that at? Norway, they get +2. They get 1 for the territory. And then that's their Sweden route. So that's +3. Oh, wow. They lost 3, 5, 6. That was a 6-point swing for Germany. Nice. Okay. So cash, we went up $1. So let's give us 64, 12. So that'll be 76. KMT has 7 for next turn. And let's do the recap time. Get those dice out of here. All right, San Francisco militia. I'm not going to call off all the single militias around. Western United States has a mountain. San Francisco has a fighter. P-25 has a heavy cruiser, 2 subs, and a attack transport. In port and Midway is a carrier, a transport. On Midway is a tactical, 2 Marines, 1 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft gun. In the sea zone, P-22 is 4 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 4 destroyers, 4 subs. Sea zone P-36, 2 subs. P-26, 2 coastal subs. P-34, 3 subs. In port, in the Marshalls, is a destroyer and attack transport. On the island is an armor, marine, infantry, militia, and a fighter. New Britain, 2 infantry and a transport in port. New Guinea, paratrooper. Sea zone P-64, fighter, tactical, carrier, and a destroyer. And we are spreading out all over the world now. Kuwait has a U.S. transport in port. Southern Iraq, infantry, artillery. Aden has the medium bomber. Tripolitania, marine. Infantry in Tunisia. French Morocco, infantry, artillery. Sea Zone A44 now has 3 subs, 2 coastal subs, 3 destroyers, 1 light cruiser, 1 heavy cruiser, 2 battleships, light carrier, and a fighter. Portugal, airborne, marine, infantry, and in port is another transport. Up in Northern Ireland, another transport in port. Northern England, a fighter. Southern England, mountain, infantry. In London, 2 infantry. Up on Svalbard, I can't read it because the plane's not it, but I think it's Svalbard, is a medium bomber. Sea Zone A8 is 2 destroyers. Northern Norway is an airborne, a marine, a medium armor, and a infantry with one transport and one attack transport in port. And that'll do. The U.S. turn is now officially in the books. Now it's Germany, and we're moving on to turn 16, so we're getting near the end of the game here. Let's see how this thing plays out.